Shalom. All praises to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Racha Kwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well and labor in the word and doctrine. And we say Shalom, mainly Shalom unto the elect, right, of the nation of Israel. The chosen of the chosen, if you like. But let's get into this, man, because we have said this. Personally, not to brag of myself, but to give witness and testimony of what the body have been preaching and teaching. There's a video I made on certain happenings in Sweden, and I said, all of this whole shenanigan, and I didn't just come up with it, right? I was taught. I said that all this shit is going to ultimately culminate in them using this charagma, right? This which really is the Lord's charagma, right? But he's used to bring in certain miracles, right? When you look up the word miracle, go look up the word miracle, right? Certain events, certain technologies, he has been appointed to bring it out, but really it's the Lord's technology, right? For example, the internet. Right, the internet, it says in Matthew 24, I believe the 14th verse, and this gospel shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. Well, how is that mainly going to happen? Yeah, you have brothers such as the IUIC that actually go to these places. We don't need to go to them places, because you go look at if you're a teacher, go look at your YouTube analytics. You have, if I was to guess, mainly United States, United Kingdom, Canada, which is all really same sort of, Jake scattered among them places. And then you're going to have some, what is to us far-fetched places, Japan, Taiwan, all these places that they're not far-fetched, they're countries, they're part of Earth, obviously, but it's very far away from us, or from what the day-to-day life in Taiwan, Japan, etc. is very different to us. But there's still the same gospel is going to be preached in all these different nations. And then the elect of the nation of Israel within those quote-unquote nations will be redeemed. Now, with all that being said, we made videos on the Swedes, how they were having the charagma, and we linked it back. We said all this, Uno Nueve shit is going to culminate in this. And it was before all this shit, man. The apostles, the various other elders, various other brothers in this body have been telling you, and then when we came in, we began telling you of all this shit that's happening. Everyone that mocking us, y'all are conspiracy theorists. But what the fuck now? What now? And why would they say, well, let's just read it, man, with code words, obviously. Implanted thingy, charagmas, coming whether we like it or not. Now this, when you check it, it's a Swedish company, which is always Sweden. It's always Edom in Sweden. But it says, I don't even know how to say that, disruptive subdermals has come under fire from critics, some of who have described the devices as invasive. Now this is the whole shit. Now let me get another strike here. This is the whole same shit that they said about the passports themselves. Oh, we're not going to bring them in. Britain, we're not going to bring them in, is what Bodge said. And then he botched it, because Bodge came back. And what did he say? He said, oh, now we'll consider it. And never mind consider it, now it's a thing. I was reading that now to get into certain places, nightclubs, venues over this certain amount, you're going to need that. And now why are they going to say whether we like it or not? And this is from Wales online. But Wales is not too far from England, right? And England it's the mother. When it talks about your mother should be so confounded, talking about Babylon, I believe is that Isaiah 47. Nonetheless, that is talking about Britain, right? And the word British actually goes back to the Hebrew, which is Barayath Ayash, right? British. covenant man. Under the covenant, because the original, let me not say original, but Jake once inhabited the original people as like Pan-African rhetoric. But anyway, so my man, nah, let me hold that. A startup tech company has invented a scannable microchip that can be implanted in arms and display people's status, their C and their vacus, yeah, which goes back to cow, their cow status, if you like. Okay. It's the Swedish company's digital implant measuring 2 millimeters. What is that? That's a lucky. Can they like bear kids? They're screaming about. But anyway. Put me off. The Swedish company's digital implant measuring 2 millimeters by 60 millimeters in size, which this is a funny syntax. You know, why are you writing 2 as a word, 16 as a letter? I'm just being pedantic. It says it's designed so that your VP pops up when scanned. Now, as we're aware, Chip Girl here, she can use that shit. And that, if you're not aware of that, search up Chip Girl. She's like a viral celebrity on the internet. Some people say, oh, that's fucking crazy. And some people say, oh, no, that's normal. But either way, the guys that say, oh, that's fucking crazy, you were the first ones to start getting down, getting your passport and everything like that. I mean, I don't, I'll speak for myself. I don't go to clubs. So that shit is not really going to persuade me. Well, Lord willing, nothing persuades me of this shit. For I am persuaded, let's get that. Speaking about persuasion, the Edomitic Caucasian persuasion. For I am persuaded, but the whole thing is, they're going to put it down to convenience and then it's this, but ultimately it's going to come to a point where you can't buy or sell except you have it. Romans 8 and 35. Who shall separate us from the love of Hamashiach? Shall tribulation? Right, so all this shit, the hour of temptation, the trial. It says, who is he that condemneth? No, it's like who shall separate us from the love of Hamashiach? Shall tribulation or distress or persecution or famine or nakedness or peril or sword? And if you can't eat, you have to buy, you have to sell to eat. Now, could someone give you bread? Yeah, but I'm talking in the general. The exception doesn't make the rule. Generally, you can't really eat unless you've got something. And the modern way we go about it is we don't tend to till the land. There's people that still do that, don't get me wrong. But stop being so simple. Right, we get money so we can put quote-unquote bread on the table. Or the Ease parable is bringing home the bacon. I mean, to bear the things that you ought to eat. Now, if you can't do that, that might start persuading people. Yeah? Well, Lord willing, not us. So it says, who shall separate? I just read that. As it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long, we are counted as sheep for the slaughter. Nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. For I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of Yahawah, which is in Hamashiach Yahawashi. Right, that's what we're persuaded of. But he's going to try and persuade enough people that, oh, you need to take this, it's really going to help. And also you've got your Neuralink, you've got this miracle, that miracle. Now, if you put a charagma in someone's brain, and the guy couldn't see, the guy couldn't walk, now he can see and walk. Is that a miracle? Yeah, it is. On the left-hand side. They're trying to do the gospel on the left-hand side. Because the gospel talks about, cleansing the sick, raising the dead. And Jake is currently spiritually dead. But all these things to the point where the physical, this flesh, which is meant to be subject to death, which is how it's set up, they're trying to mud it, man. You can't do this shit. And deep down, he has in his in his knowledge that he can't win this. But also deep down, he has that he can win this. So he's a double-minded man. Meaning what? He would be unstable in all his ways. And this is another way that he's proving that. Pushing this out, like this is calm. Now that'll give you cancer, my boy. But and they always have to play both sides, these articles, to some degree, to varying levels of, not to appear too biased either side. And are there going to be publications that are against it? Of course. It doesn't stop prophecy. But disruptive subdermals has come under fire from critics, some of who have described the devices as invasive, reports The Express. Hans Schoblad, like when you're trying to get someone to show their hand, Hans Schoblad. It says, managing director of disruptive subdermals has now fired back, saying the technology is here to stay. He's a big man. He said, this technology exists and is used whether we like it or not. I'm happy that I'm happy that it is brought into the public conversation. New technologies must be broadly debated and understood. Smart implants are a powerful health technology. That is what we are building at Disruptive, and our goal is to transform healthcare on a global scale. And you're not disrupting shit. Now all you're doing is furthering the prophetic timeline. All right, we're getting closer and closer. We're in the end. But we're getting closer and closer unto that last day. Yeah? When does the day? Now again, I probably said too much. So it costs 100 euros. Sorry about that. It costs 100 euros. And you just have to scan it with a mobile. And all devices pretty much, not the devices in that sense, but the electronic devices, they have that technology. Like, so I keep my debit card in my phone case. So if anyone wants to try to steal, you'll get 2 for 1 there. But often when it sort of covers the camera, it'll say NFC can't be read. NFC can't be read. Near field communication. So all these devices, they have the infrastructure there. Not only just here, yeah, the showing of the passport. So it's all coming to a head. Yeah, you either see it or you don't. But don't let pride cloud your vision. Yeah, don't throw away your salvation for your ego. You get me? Yeah, it's being said. Yeah, this is Charagma. This is the end. We're not going to fucking Saudi Arabia for another captivity. Yeah, so here it is. Here it is. Shalom.